Hello, guys. So I titled this Out with Old Beliefs and In with Unlimited Possibilities. Out with the old, antiquated beliefs and in with new, unlimited possibilities. And what do I mean by that? So, I've been listening to some stories about this government shutdown and how so many people are affected worldwide. But of course, being this channel is mostly about black women, I'm going to talk about black women. So, with so many black women, I was listening to Madam Logic Bomb. I like to give people credit when I listen to their audios, okay? I don't think she gets enough support either, but that's just my opinion. I mean, she gets attacked by a lot of, black men, but that's because, that's what happens when you kind of try to counteract their abuse. I don't really make too many audios about black men. I mean, they showed me who they were and I believe them, so it's no need for me to talk anymore. But she uses her videos to try to warn black women of things to come and what is about to happen right now. And I just want to give her credit. What is about to happen right now, because a lot of black women, it's not just black women on food stamps that's going to be hurting. A lot of black women worked for the government. A lot of black women worked for the government. I remember when I used to work for the government in 2006 and 2005 to 2008. I worked for the government. I worked at the VA hospital, okay? And I just felt like I wanted more freedom, and I left around 2008. A lot of people thought I was crazy because the government job is the best thing to have in the world, and everybody thought I was just lost and crazy. Um, but now just still working as a therapist, but not with the government though. But I want to talk about how so many black women work for the government. A lot of people work for the government, period. But like I said, this is a channel about black women. So, yeah, I mean, they talking about pawning everything. They can't pay their mortgage. They getting kicked out their house. It is cold. It is a cold world. And this is going to offend some, but I'm going to have to say it. When it comes to religion, um, a lot of people, especially people who are moral, especially black women, but people who are moral, like to talk about how don't depend on money, depend on Jesus. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody's belief. It doesn't matter if you say depend on Allah, whoever it is, because I'm not really against any deity. But here's what I have to say. Um, now people are at the point where they're getting kicked out their houses because of the government shutdown. Okay, so I've moved beyond the point of saying that no, money is not everything, but it plays a huge role. Okay, because even when people say, well, if you sick in your body, you can't do anything. Yeah, but if you sick in your body and you don't have no money and no insurance, you're gonna be out in the cold. So a lot of people who are still sick in their body, if they have some kind of good insurance or some money, they still able to get good health care. Okay, so I'm just saying out with the old beliefs, because specifically black people and a lot of black people, not everybody didn't have this problem, but a whole lot of black people, especially black women, did have this problem. Not everybody, but a whole lot that wanted to that have this aversion to being financially wealthy. They have this aversion to being to having a lot. Okay, um, wanting to stay so called humble. Okay, so this I'm just saying this because this audio is about limited beliefs and how so many, and I think a lot of religion really caused a lot of black women to be adverse to financial wealth. Okay, And they help everybody in the community as well. They help the Black collective. They always trying to help. Excuse me. They always trying to help all the children. They still trying to help the men and worry about the men's plight. But the men show time and time again that they are not concerned about the women's plight. Look at all these Black women that are about to not have a place to stay after they don't stayed in their place for the past 20 years. They are about to not have a place to stay because of the government shutdown. And sorry, I sidebarred. I want to get back to Madam Logic Bomb. So she made an audio and she uploaded an audio talking about how she went and she volunteers, and I think she went into the shelter and she enters through a different area of the shelter. And she said that she saw a whole bunch of new faces that she has not seen before. And they were full of Black women and children. Full of Black women and children, and not Black women who were on welfare either. These are Black women who had decent jobs, who might consider themselves middle class, had decent jobs working for the government, that now they cannot pay their mortgage, they can't pay their rent, and they can't take care of their children, and they are flooding the shelters. Okay? And of course, she talked about how Black men celebrate, but you know what? I don't get mad at them. I don't get mad at them at all. I do not get mad at them because they have told you, they have told Black women who they were. Whether you look at YouTube or Facebook, just look at everyday life. Because see, the thing about what I hear a lot of Black women say is that oh, they weren't aware of the bashing on social media. You don't have to hear the bashing on social media to know that your group of men just do not provide for you. You don't have to look at one YouTube video to know that your group of men do not provide for you. Okay. And I'm beyond saying that there's good, specifically for the Black men, saying there's good Black men out there. See, that doesn't matter at this point. You just have a lot of women and children that's going to be homeless, that actually had decent jobs. All of them were not on welfare. See, a lot of these people just concentrated on welfare people. No, it's people who were middle class working for the government that's about to have nothing, about to be in the same boat. So while people are criticizing those welfare queens, a lot of people who had a place to live and paid their bills on time and had a good job, they about to be in the same boat, even though some of these welfare queens were being criticized. Okay? And so, but like I said, of course the guys are celebrating what's happening to Black women and children, but that doesn't surprise me. So I don't really have much to say on that because it's not a surprise. Black women keep trying to hold on to these guys no matter what they do. And like I say, you want to say that, you weren't aware of the bashing. You don't have to know that they're bashing you online to know that they do not come through for you, because it's been happening for centuries. They do not come through for you. So you don't have to, talking about you haven't seen a bashing video makes no sense at all, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that they have not taken care of their women and children at all. Okay. So I'm going to say that. Now, let me talk about getting beyond beliefs. Okay. So when I talk about getting beyond beliefs, the old way of believing, when I talk about that, I'm saying to stop believing that, in my mind, I'm beyond the physical world. Okay. I know I live in a physical world, but my mind just expands far beyond that, because I am aware, and I'm becoming more aware, that you should not have to work. You should not have to work for money. This work and money, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that, because that sounded so strange. So I'm gonna try my best to explain what I mean. What I mean is that we are creators. We are creators. Now, it's going to be hard for a lot of people to do because they spent their whole life believing the way the system taught them to believe. Oh, you got to work this 9 to 5. And matter of fact, it was one guy I used to see on YouTube that would always want to call out these pro-Black scammers, but then he would always like to emphasize the point that, oh, they're afraid to work a 9 to 5. They're afraid to, well, you know what? Them 9 to 5s ain't working no more for people, and it's time to expand your consciousness beyond the 9 to 5. It's time to expand your consciousness beyond the 9, because those 9 to 5s ain't working hardly no more for people. Okay, people that work at McDonald's get to keep their job, and people are losing their government jobs. That's what I'm saying. Paper or plastic, them paper or plastic people, they still working. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last, but they're still working right now. Okay, so yeah. So no, what I was going to say is that no, yeah, expand your consciousness beyond the 9 to 5, because we are creators. I told you, we live in a simulated reality. Okay, a lot of things that we think is real is just not real. Okay, it's just not real. We're literally in a virtual reality. This is for those. Now, if people can't handle me saying that, this probably won't be the audio, the right audio to listen to. But we literally are kind of living in a computer simulated reality. And this is the reason why I say that, we're inside of a game. We're inside of a game. But it's hard to believe that, because the way we lived our life, we took this world so seriously, as if everything that we saw was real. And we took it so seriously for so long, it's hard to get out of it. And I totally get it, because I'm working on it myself every day. But and this is for myself too. It's time to get out of thinking that we have to work for money. It's time to get out of thinking that we have to hustle and bust our butt for money. Okay, we should be able to create money, because we are the creators. We should be able to draw money to us like that. We're the creators. Okay, so with that being said, I try to explain that the best way I can, but it's hard to, because we spent our whole life believing everything is real. We spent our whole life believing everything is real. Okay, but this government shutdown is going to have people really expanding their consciousness beyond this mundane world. Okay, and it's really going to question their belief system too, because while you're talking about using your morals, using all of these morals to talk about how money ain't everything, and certain deities should come first, and money ain't everything. And I'm not going to criticize that. That's your right. But I really, in my opinion, if you spend your life putting this deity first and giving yourself to this deity and sacrificing everything for this deity, right? That deity needs to come through at this time of need for a lot of those ladies. And if not, then it's time to it could be time to let that deity go. That doesn't mean everybody needs to not believe in certain things, but it comes a time when you have to look at what's working for you and what's not working for you. And a lot of these ladies spent their time giving money to the pastors, giving money to the church, excuse me, helping everybody else's cause, helping out the men in the community, helping out all the children. Now they're in a situation where they had to sell everything, pawn everything, and they're in shelters. And these are not welfare queens I'm talking about. These are not, excuse me, I use welfare queens because I don't feel like I don't want to call them welfare queens. It's just that that's how people have criticized them, and I'm saying that to be sarcastic. When I say welfare queens, I'm really using sarcasm, because these people who criticize these ladies' decision-making skills are in the same boat as they are. So I say welfare queens to be sarcastic towards those who are starting to become in the same boat but wanted to criticize them. Okay. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's time to if this deity, and specifically Black women that want to hold on to this deity and hold on to these beliefs, and like I said, I don't really care what you believe in. This is just my advice, because this is what I had to learn to do for myself. And so whatever I say on here is what I've learned. Okay. This deity, if this deity does not come through for you after so many years of dedicating your life to the church and giving your money to this church and to this pastor, and it's not just a particular religion either, because Black women of all different faiths could be suffering. So it's not just one particular belief. But I do know A lot of religious black women, regardless of what she believes in, do have an aversion to wealth. They have an aversion to wealth. They just want just enough. They like, as long as I have enough, I'm blessed and I'm good, and as long as I have enough. Well, you know, whatever you believed in needs to come through. Okay? It needs to come through. And if it does not come through, it's time to question your beliefs. That's all I want to say. It's time to question it, because this is a serious time right now. And I'm going to go back to crediting Madam Logic Bomb again. So she has, when she first started her channel, she gave a warning to black women that it was black men, that these Hebrew Israelites were standing on the corners talking about how they couldn't wait for the stuff to hit the fan, because they literally want to devour black women and children. They talked about how they want to rape black women, talked about how they want to beat black women, how they hate black women. And she made video after video after video talking about how she was listening to these Hebrew Israelites. Not to say that these black women would only be attacked by Hebrew Israelites, but it's going to be bad for those who don't really have shelter, who's going to be stuck out there. These men are going to be waiting to hurt anybody, really, but specifically black women and children. A lot of these ladies didn't want to believe that these men really hated them. They did not want to believe it. Uh, and I just wanted to just kind of pay a little respect to Madam Logic Bomb, because she went through so much. She went through so much to try to warn black women. And I know she doesn't have a big channel, and it kept getting shut down many times because black men were attacking her, because she was constantly trying to warn black women of what these guys planned on doing. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, I don't really have much to say. I hope, I do hope this video doesn't offend too much, but at the same time, I have to say what's on my mind. At this time, I truly feel that it is time for black women to let all religion go. Let all religion go. Religion is a part of a Piscean era. We're moving into another age. The religion, it really was part of a paradigm. Okay, it was part of a paradigm. It's part of indoctrination. And like I said, people have their right to believe in whatever they believe, but I really hope and I highly suggest, because I'm not going to really care. I have to only worry about myself. But I highly suggest after this, those black women who make it out, it's time to just really, it's time to really, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's time to really think about the belief systems and what that has done for you. What has that done for you? Because black women who thought they were doing the right thing probably paid their bills on time. You do have people to pay their bills on time. Probably were very good with their money, very good with budgeting to their money and financial management. Now are facing the same fate that people who were irresponsible with their money are. So you made these good decisions, and this is not just black women. This is people with making good financial decisions. And now this is the fate that you're in, similar to those who did not make good financial decisions, okay, or those who just fell on hard times, okay. This is why I say the old way of thinking with religion, true, but also the old way of thinking that you have to work for money. That is an old paradigm too, because we are the real creators. But we don't understand it, and we have to work on practicing, because we spent our entire life believing we had to do things this way to get this. Even with the multiple streams of income, some people have multiple streams of income. Yeah, that's good too, but I'm literally talking about learning how to create, like literally create the reality that you want, to be on the timeline that you want. If you don't like this timeline, get on another timeline. I'm talking about moving, expanding the consciousness beyond thinking that this is it for you, that it's just in the cards and you're going to sit and wait for something outside of yourself to make a decision on your fate. It's time to move outside that way of thinking and to understand, this might be offensive, but it's time to see yourself as God right now. It is time to see yourself as God. Don't worry about being offensive to some other deity, because right now you're on the streets and you don't know what you're going to do with your life. So at this point, unless that deity comes through where you don't have to sleep in no shelter with your children, it's time to see yourself as God and don't worry about offending any other deity at this point. Because I don't know if this deity is coming through for these women who did try to spend their lives thinking they're doing the right thing because they were indoctrinated. But working 9 to 5 and all of that, feeling like you have to work for money is a part of indoctrination. It's done to keep your mind busy. It's done to keep you from really getting back to the true, authentic self. Because as long as you have to be in fear, as long as you have to think you have to work to make money or do this and make ends meet, then that's less time you spend being to yourself and getting to know your true authentic self, and not this avatar that we're in, because we're in the avatar right now. Our bodies are avatars. I don't mean to go on long with this, but I just want to have this conversation. I hope this is not too far off for too many people. I hope Black women let Black men go, and I hope Black women let religion go. Okay? I'm not having too much faith on them letting the Black men go. If they get back on their feet, they might still want to talk about how they got a nice uncle. The proof is in the pudding, and that's why I don't spend my audios talking about what Black men are doing and what they're saying and what they're not doing, because it's common sense. It's common sense that they have not built up their communities. It's common sense that they do not protect their women and children. It's common sense that they do not provide for their women and children. It's common sense. And so that's why I don't spend too much time talking about them at all, because I just think that I think it's not worth talking about. It should be known because the whole world already knows. Um, and so, want to spend time defending R. Kelly. You want to spend time worrying about who's getting shot by the police. Meanwhile, all these Black women and children on welfare and not on welfare, and those who have made good financial decisions are not finding themselves not having anywhere to stay. And so I just really hope those who make it out of this really leave religion alone and leave these Black men alone. Well, that's it, and only care about yourself. You guys chime in, because right now I'm just kind of having a conversation. But and really let these men alone. Leave them alone right now. They do not deserve your affection right now. They are not coming through for you. Everybody is seeing all over the news that Black women are not on the streets who worked for the government, and these guys are not coming through. And I'm hoping, but I'm not having much faith. But I'm hoping that Black women will learn to let these guys go. I don't care about who's good. I don't care about the good Black man no more. I don't. I stopped caring a long time ago. But I'm beyond saying, well, there are some good men that protect their women. I don't want to hear. I don't care, because the truth of the matter is, regardless of how many times you want to say these good Black men out there that protect their women, Black women dependent on white men, and it's just a fact. They are about to be homeless because of the government shutdown. So regardless of how many times you want to talk about it's a good Black man out there is that protect their women, the fact of the matter is, Black people, period, Black men too, depend on white men. Excuse me. Sorry. Black people, period. This platform is just talking about Black women, but Black people, period, depend on white people for their survival, and it's just a fact. So I don't care about who's a good black man anymore. I don't care because he doesn't really own anything. So I'm not going to keep giving them that credit of being good. I don't care. Okay? So anyway, with that being said, you guys let me know what you think and I will talk to you soon.